another treat, and guess what? You were so curious about the English Lops that I thought I would bring them to you tonight. And guess where I'm back? I'm back at Lewis's place. And we've got some beautiful English Lops to show you. Hi, Lewis. Thanks for letting us hang out again.
Of course, I'm glad.
Tell us about this English Lop. Isn't this just beautiful?
Well, this is our doe, Irish, and she was born about 2 years ago. We actually got off a breeder from up in Georgia. We were just getting back into the breed, and as you can see, you were just looking at, we have a good group of crop of rabbits ready to go. We started breeding. This one's actually pregnant as well. She has babies inside her, about 14 days along.
Okay, so we're expecting babies in about 2 weeks to 3 days.
Yep.
Okay, great. Now, Lewis mentioned that this is a doe. Irish is a doe. Now, guys, I know that you remember what a doe is. So you're sitting at home thinking, a doe is what, Mrs. Potter's class? That's right. It's a girl rabbit. And what's a buck? A boy. And Lewis, help us out. What's a baby rabbit called?
A rabbit.
A baby rabbit's a kit. Good. They're rabbits. They're definitely not bunnies. Okay, so Lewis, tell us what makes Irish such a good rabbit.
Well, what makes Irish such a good rabbit? She has a really nice big head on her. Even though she's a doe, we're still going to discuss how big her head is. It's really important for the breed. She has a lot of bone. As you can see, she has tree trunk legs, as we like to say. They're bigger than both your thumbs put together. And then we also have a really nice long body with lots of deep depth over the hind quarter, and it peaks properly over the center of the hip. She's also feels really good, as you can see. So she's just a good rabbit to have around to make babies. She's close to the standard and what we're looking for.
Okay, tell us now, when Mrs. Potter raised English Lops several years ago, the thing that I always found most interesting about them was their ears. When we talk about Lops, their ears are always what? Up or down?
They're down.
They're always down. The English Lops have the beautiful long ears. Lewis, what is the standard for an English Lop? They have to be how long?
They have to be 21 inches long, and they have to be 1/4 of the width wide. This doe right here, she's going to be about 25 inches long, with the width being about 6 inches. So she's a little bigger on the width than she needs to be.
Okay, great. And when I talk to the kids about English Lops, I talk to them about the crown on the head. We really talked a lot about them. Guys, I know you remember this. How is Irish's crown?
Her crown is good for the breed. Breeds like English Lops are supposed to have no crown, no predominance of crown, which also makes their ear control. So where her ears sit around and flop around very easily, other breeds like the Holland Lops and French Lops, their ears sit right beside their eyes. And they sit in that certain direction because of their crown and the way that the ears are set. The crown is supposed to be predominant and deep and full.
Very good. Now, Lewis, do you want to show us another English Lop?
I do. I have a buck I'm super excited to show you.
Okay, hang on 1 second. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back, Mrs. Potter's class. We're here with a different rabbit. Lewis, can you tell us about him?
This is Blaze. He's about a year old. He is from the same breeder that we got the other ones from, like we showed you, Irish. We also have about 15 other rabbits from that breeder up in Georgia. Blaze is our #1 herd buck, which means he's used to be the father of most of the babies in this barn.
Fantastic. Now, Lewis, when you talked about Irish, you mentioned about her peak and her depth. Can you explain to us just a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So peak is really important. The peak is the highest point of the rabbit's body, which is right about here, the center of the hip. When you talk about the hip from the back of the foot to the front of the foot, it's the center.
Okay, fantastic.
So this rabbit's a really good buck because he has lots of depth. He's wide. And depth, when we talk about that, that's how deep the rabbit is. If it's low, then it's not deep, it's shallow. And if it's deep, it's higher. So he's pretty good in deep.
Okay, so when you're talking deep, you're talking from here to here.
Yes, and we want to look for rabbits that have the same depth as width. That's super important in this breed, in the hind quarter.
Okay, so depth is here to here and width is side to side.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. Now, Lewis, one of the other things that the kids were really interested in when we talked about English Lops at school, guys, I was listening, was how long their ears were.
Yes.
And you told them just a few minutes ago that they had to be 21 inches to be of legal length.
They do.
Now, I explained to them as best as I could without having a rabbit with me that we measured them from tip to tip. Blaze, I'm sorry you're being so patient. Can you show us how we do that?
I do. I will. We use this, which is a ruler. Yardstick is required. We like to use carpenter sticks, which are foldable, so that way they're easy to travel with. And when you're looking for a rabbit with good ear length, just because 21 inches is the minimum doesn't mean that's what you're looking for. The longer the better, especially when they reach back and sit over the center of the hip when he's posed. That's a really good ear length for a buck. So I'll go ahead and measure these.
Well, let me
for
ask you this before we start. Will this hurt Blaze in any way?
Absolutely not.
Okay, fantastic.
So we put the tip of the ruler at the tip of the ear, and then we carry this down, and we reach these down to the other tip of the ear. And as you can see, he has 28 inches.
Wow, that is an awesome ear length.
Yes, that makes him really important in our breeding program. And then you can see his width. We would usually take from the back, but I'll put it on the front so that way you can see. His width from the widest point of his ear is 6 1/4.
Okay, fantastic. Wow, well, Blaze has been really patient with us. And Louis, we really appreciate you having us in your English Lop barn.
Of course.
I cannot wait for the baby English Lops to be born. I think I've told you guys the English Lops are my favorites. I hope you've enjoyed being here as much as I've enjoyed showing them to you. And Louis, thanks again for having us out.
Of course, I'm glad you were able to make it.
Okay, well listen guys, until the next video, I'm just gonna say bye from here. So thanks for joining us, and I have more surprises to come. Bye for now.